So I'm going to go through interpolating the median, and it's to do with interpreting graphs and line segments. So it really is working by you assuming this is a straight line. Okay, so to interpret the median, first of all, we find which group is it in. Okay, so we look at the group, and the group it was in, for the median, we know is in this group 1.5 to 2, and it had value numbers from 9 to 13. So if we look at the 1.5 less than x less than or equal to 2.0, the group above it was 9, and the group here was 13, and that was 1 is less than x less than 1.5. So we know the endpoints of these two parts of the graph. So we have a straight line. Okay, between them we have 1.5 horizontally, and we have 2.0 horizontally. Vertically is the frequency. So we went from 9 to 13. Now this one's a little bit trivial in terms of this, really. We want 13, we want the position number 12.5, that's the middle. Andre, I remember when we were first talking about this, on the graphs when you're estimating, you just go halfway up the axis. You were sort of right that strictly I ought to go from number 1 to number 25. But we find the halfway point graphically by finding half of the height. So we want to find the median value on a graph is just the 25 divided by 2. We don't need the +1 on it. So I need to find where 12.5 is, and that is my vertical direction. So I need to find where is this 12.5. Oh, this is a straight line. So that means that if I was to try and calculate the gradient of this line, we need the y, which is 13 to 9, divides over the run, which is 2 minus 1.5, which gives me an answer of 4 over 0.5. And that must also equal the gradient if I was to calculate it for my value of x, my median value. Sorry, let's make that the median. That's the mean, the gradient. And here we've got my median x value. So I can actually do the same thing for the gradient. I know the y value is at 12.5. Middle point. My starting point for this group was 9. And my calculated point for this x, this position x, minus the 1.5 it started at. So we're using the same formula. This was end minus start. And this is the midpoint, or the median value. Let's raise that and put median on properly. My medians and again compared to the start. So I now have an equation where I've got 3.5 over x minus 1.5. These two sides must be equal. So I can say x minus 1.5 is equal to the 0.5, which is over 4, and I've got 3.5 on this side. Multiply it up, and we get x minus 1.5 equals 0.5 divided by 4 multiplied by 3.5, and my actual median value is 1.5 added to it. And when I do it on 0.5 times 3.5 divide by 4 and add 1.5 to it. And it comes back with a median of 1.94. Yeah, 1.94. 9375, and we actually calculated my median as 1.9 before. So that's how you can do this thing called interpolate. And interpolate assumes you've got a straight line between the end and the start, and the same straight line also goes through where my median would be, and it's the median value, so the position and the median value. We do rise over run and make the two things equal. Rearrange the equation so that we can get x on its own and then solve, and that's how I did that interpolation. It is not needed for IGCSE. I think it might be in the further pure maths, but it is a nice technique. Okay, so I'm just going to save